There are many roles and responsibilities of a special education teacher. Some of the roles include instruction, IEP creating, behavioral support. The teacher writes each student with disabilities an IEP in collaboration with parents and administrations and therapists. The teachers help provide instructions to students focusing on certain skills in all subjects. The teacher also provides behavioral support with emotional development. Some responsibilities are keeping students with disabilities protected with following the IDEA. They participate in IEP meetings to ensure each student receives correct accommodations and modifications. They protect students' records, and the teacher also has a legal responsibility of supporting inclusion in general education settings. Teachers are also responsible for ethical practices. Professional special educators are guided by the Council of Exceptional Children. This standard practices professional policies in ways that respect the diverse characteristic and needs of individuals with disabilities and their families. Special education teachers are ethically responsible for providing equal opportunities for all students. They are also responsible for collaborating. Special education teachers are to collaborate with the general education teachers to ensure that the inclusive needs are being met. They should collaborate with therapists, families, administration to ensure that students with disabilities receive a comprehension and supportive education that fits all of their needs. The student will thrive academically, socially, and emotionally when everyone is on the same team. A special education teacher must also advocate for their students. The teacher should be the voice of the students with disabilities, ensuring that their needs are being met and their rights are being upheld. The teacher should advocate for fair treatment of students with disabilities. The student is protected from discrimination and exclusion. The teacher pays attention to the student's needs and wants and ensures the right resources are there for the student. My personal vision for meeting the needs of students centers around creating a nurturing environment where all students feel valued, understood, and supported. Each student, regardless of their ability, has the potential to succeed if they have access to the right resources and encouragement. I firmly believe that by utilizing IEPs consistently and correctly, I can adjust as needed to provide support that helps students achieve their personal goals. I believe that when students feel safe and supported, that helps them become more likely to succeed and take risk. Making progress and developing a love for learning. I want my classroom to be a place where diversity is celebrated and students with disabilities are seen as valued members of the school. Working with students who have disabilities requires some patience. I must be patient with both the students and my process of my own growth as an educator. I have to keep in mind that each child learns at their own pace. Working in special education can present challenges, but I believe that resilience is key to long-term success. I will need to stay positive and persistent, celebrating small victories along the way and learning from setbacks. I have to stay creative and encourage students to think outside the box. The field of education is constantly evolving, and I must stay informed of the best practices to ensure that my students have access to resources, to all the resources that are out there. Most importantly, I'll need to advocate for the rights and needs of my students. Special education teachers will need to hold up high ethical standards. That is called decision making, and it is vital in guiding how I serve students, especially when it comes to sensitive matters like eligibility. I have examined that commitment to respecting the dignity and rights of all students means advocating for students' rights to fair placement without being biased. My decisions will be grounded in empathy, fairness, and advocacy for the student's potential. Practical wisdom requires me to be reflective and use both professional knowledge and intuition to assess students. When I consider eligibility for a special education student, is it important that I evaluate the context and understand the complexity of the student's needs? I ask myself, what will be most helpful for the student, and how will I, as their teacher, create a learning environment that fits them? Another essential professional standard that I will follow is the collaboration with families and other professionals. I feel it is essential to involve families in the process and listen to their concerns and insights when discussing the eligibility of the student. Parents' voices should be heard and valued. I will strive to make decisions that are fair, compassionate, and ensure that all students, especially those with disabilities, are given the opportunity to reach their full potential. In Genesis chapter 1, Christianity teaches that all individuals are created in the image of God. As a Christian, I will ensure that every student, regardless of their disability, feels valued and respected. I will create an inclusive and welcoming environment where students with disabilities are seen for their abilities and strengths, not just their challenges. I will challenge myself each day to help create the environment the student needs, and I will recognize their own worth and full potential. As a Christian special education teacher, I will show compassion by showing understanding and patience with students who face challenges. I will take the time to listen to their needs, not just academically, but emotionally and socially also. I will develop strong relationships with each student, and I will offer each one encouragement in ways that empower them. Integrating the Christian view and the principles of servant leaders into my professional practice, I can foster a nurturing environment for students with disabilities and their families. Having a Christian background will guide me in acting with compassion, empathy, humility, and commitment to justice, ensuring that every student has the opportunity to flourish academically, socially, and emotionally. To continue developing as an effective educator for students with disabilities, I will be pursuing further coursework and participating in learning communities to utilize space practices. I will focus on being responsible and meeting the diverse needs of my students and create an inclusive learning environment. I will focus on ensuring that I am providing the highest quality education for all students, regardless of their background or disability. Thank you.